Heroic TheNine. One of the coolest early bosses in my recent memory. I think this boss is great. In fact, I kind of wish it was a little later in the raid, so they could have made it like a little harder, because it's going to be really easy, but the fight's really cool theme, really cool mechanics, and certainly a decently challenging potential second boss. I believe you can either choose the eye or this to do second. Great fight. Just wish it was a little later. That's all. Okay, so let's kind of watch through it real quick, and I'll kind of just explain it real short before I dive into the mechanics and how you should deal with them. So first we have just the opener. You stack them up. It's 2-target cleave. You guys know what classes are good on 2-target cleave. There's a million. Fast forward a little bit. There's an ad that spawns. You can kill this or you can just ignore it. All you need to do is kick it. So if you guys want to focus it to make kicks easier, certainly do that. If not, you can absolutely cleave it and just kick. I think there's something it does on another difficulty that like makes you want to kill it faster. I'm not sure if that actually exists on Heroic. Or if even it exists at all. Again, I haven't looked at this fight in a long time, but where's this little homie at? What's his name? Formless Mass. Yeah, no, you just kick it. Yeah, never mind. Yeah, just kick that thing and kind of ignore it. It'll just die to cleave, especially on the pull. They're choosing to lust on the pull. I could see both being a thing. So I think probably the best time. So, okay, the fight makes it seem like in a P1, P2 that, oh, it's like you get these two bosses to 25% or 20% or whatever, and then the third boss comes out, and it's supposed to be like two fights. Like the first fight, you're fighting these two things, and the last part of the fight, you're fighting this other thing. The way it's actually tuned right now, health-wise, is they're looking at it more instead of a 50-50, as more of like the first part of the fight is very similar to like P1 Ashara. You know, it's like they basically just put these two mobs in just so the 9 made sense. You know, they had like the 6 mobs doing the mechanics, which you guys will see down here during the Call of the Valkyr. The other 6 are here besides the 3 bosses you see right in the boss frame. And they're like, well, you need to add 2. We only have 7. So we'll just start with 2 bosses at the beginning, and the third boss will come down later. So Skyja's the big bad bitch. You don't want to fuck with her. She's like, she does other stuff, right? But the first 2, you can lust for 2-target cleave. The fastest time to kill this will be lusting on the pull. However, you may want to lust on the main boss. On Heroic, I honestly don't know if it'll matter. But yeah, so Skyja basically comes down when you get the other 2 there. They each have an alternating mechanic. This is going to be weird to look at for testing because you're watching them do this, right? Like Wings of Rage is supposed to suck you in and you have to run away from it. And if you are inside of it, it like stuns or does damage to you. It's like basically like you get it, right? Like anytime the game tries to suck you in and that's a thing, you just like don't want to do that, right? You don't want to be in there at all. And the other boss does something very similar, but it's the opposite. And they both do it at 100 energy if you want to track energy from your opponents. Or energy from your enemies, sorry. So she'll do that later. Right now, it's not sucking at all. They buffed the suck by a lot. It's not like a huge suck. It's like little tiny suck. But it's like way more than this. Like here, you can barely even tell that they're moving. It's so small. So yeah, basically just run out of that. And then the other one, hopefully they don't kill it fast enough. Here it comes. They have another ad out you just kick. Right here, it's going to like push you away, and you actually want to go inside. You want to... Wow, this is very sexual. That's fine, though. Love that. So this one's going to push you away, and you just want to make sure you're inside. Now, when these hit... is it 15% on Heroic? Skyja's going to come down like right now. Here she comes. So she's the new big bad bitch. This is also a potential lust point. It depends on where you are in the fight. So right now, they're at 1.5 minutes. You do not want to lust at 1.5 minutes. Lusting at 1.5 minutes makes if you guys are unaware of this as raid leaders, if you guys like tank or heal or do something where you don't really care where you lust, every single one of your DPS players, besides maybe your Shadow Priest, real fucking mad when even your Shadow Priest because of PI. They're all mad when you lust at 1.5 minutes. Never do that, okay? If this is how fast this happens to go on live, do never, ever, ever lust at 1.5 minutes. Everyone hates that. Always wait for the 2 or 3 minute marker. And if you're doing it at the 3 minute marker, make sure you let your 2 minutes know to wait for that. The reason why this seems like a good lust is because you want to kill the other 2 quickly so you don't have too many mechanics happening at one time. I believe their energy resets though. So if you look at Skyja, she's about to come down. She's about to hit 100 energy. and she's pushing at 98. So 98 energy happens, and then she immediately jumps down and she goes back down to 50. So why it does this is so you don't get like her 100 energy thing with like someone else's shit. They don't want it to happen at the same time. So like right now, they're going to kill everything before Skyja does her 100 energy mechanic. Okay. Meta, yeah. Unfortunate Demon Hunters, you have meta, but yeah, like no one's ever planning Lust around a 4-minute cooldown. Although it is in increments of 2 minutes, so you might get lucky, who knows. So you basically just kill the other two and then you fight the main boss. The first two bosses at the beginning is not that huge of a deal. So now you're going to see this glacial fragments thing. There's multiple ways to deal with glacial fragments. We'll kind of go into the individual stuff at the end of the video. Just know that these three, like those 3 debuffs you just saw here, you want to get those all onto one person. And then it'll drop a pool on the ground. And you definitely want to put that around the edge. Pretty simple. There's multiple ways to deal with this to make it easier. I'm going to try to think in the next like 2 minutes what's the easiest way to do it for a pug without you having like really, really tight positioning. But, you know. Okay, so they hit the boss. Then you have these different Call of the Valkyrs. Now, I'm just going to kind of watch through the fight before I explain anything else. But basically, these look pretty simple, right? These are just 4 things you soak, and then some things you spread out with. Notice they don't happen at the same time. They will later when Skyja does her, like, recall ability, which I think she does on Heroic, right? Does Skyja do recall on... Word of Recall instantly recalls her previous commands for Call the Valkyrie on Heroic. I believe it does, like, less of them. I know there's 2 separate Word of Recalls. But yeah, I think she does. Okay. So what she does is she's going to remember, like, the last couple mechanics she did. Wait, is she doing it right now? Hold up. No, she's not. This is just a regular ass... This is a regular one, right? Call the Valkyrie, yeah. So she casts Call the Valkyrie at 100. And then I think it's at, like, 50 energy. She actually does one of the first 2 bosses' ability from the first phase. It's either the Suck or the... Or maybe that's only a Mythic where she does that. I haven't seen her do it yet in this poll. But yeah, so Call the Valkyrie will do 3 of the 9's mechanics. Or I guess there's 6 total mechanics. So this is the annoying one. Very important. Tanks, your DPS will hate the shit out of you if you do not know how to move out of this circle. Like, line up a provoke every time for this. Get her the fuck out of this circle. If you're a DPS monk and this is about to happen, provoke the boss out of the circle and have your tank taunt off of you. Because I believe her timer is this. She did it. Okay, perfect example. When you know this is coming, and there will be timers for this, okay? Watch it again, right here. Pause. Now, if a Mistweaver, Brewmaster, or Windwalker casts Provoke on the boss, it will run out of this giant damage reduction she's in right now immediately, and she won't cast anything. But if you don't provoke it, look what happens. The tank's pulling her out the entire time, right now, but she's stuck in a cast animation. That's fine, right now. And she's going to cast again. If you would have provoked this movement, she's out of the circle. And everyone's happy and not mad, right? So make the boss go faster. Yeah, because right now the boss is taking, I think it's 90% reduced damage or something. Yeah. So hopefully they fix that. Okay, now it's going to do Word of Recall. I need to remember how many it actually casts at one time. Okay, Word of Recall goes out. It repeats the last 3 instantly. So they all 3 happen at the same time. Generally speaking, Call the Valkyrie is easy because you can do things in an order, right? You can soak the mass soak. You can spread out and soak. You can do the spread outs, whatever. But Word of Recall is going to make all of them happen instantly. So here you have to spread out and soak. There's a couple of combos here that are a problem. And the important good thing is that the combos are all like baitable. Like you, or not baitable, but you know what they are. It's not random. They're set combos that come out. I'll go over the hardest one. I'll see if they get the hardest one. That one's easy. I believe the hardest one is everyone needs to soak under the boss, spread out and soak, and then there's also like spread out circles. That's like the fucking wombo combo. The rest of them are all easy. Also, small note to tanks. If you guys ever see this, just backing up a little bit. If you guys ever see this giant circle you put in the middle, you want to have the boss near an edge, right? And also, if a Word of Recall is coming soon, you know it's going to cast this again. So you can have good boss positioning. Okay, so like look where the boss is now. You know during this word of recall, it's going to drop a thing. Hey, move the boss here, right? Because it's going to instantly put down a thing right on top of where the boss is. And then look how much room they have. They have like no room, right? Like you want this way the fuck out. Just better planning for something like that. Okay, and then you do the word of recall, and then it's over. That's basically the only thing on heroic that'll wipe you is the word of recall. The only other thing could be really poor glacial fragment management, but at the end of like the walkthrough of the video, like the watch through of the video, I'll actually like show you how you can handle that. Let's see, Pure Soul. So this is Massacre. This is the other 6. So I think we've seen them all so far. Of the separate ones, there is Mighty Anvil. This is the one you spread out with. This is the shield you guys saw, the Bright Aegis. This is the spread out soak. This is the, Kill Jaden soak you guys saw. This is the one you have to spread with, the small spreading circles, Brynja's Mournful Dirge. This one is the one where you see a giant frost circle that you need to soak. You guys haven't seen this one, but you've seen every other one. This one, Agatha's Eternal Blade, literally Massacre. You're looking at it right now. Okay? It's just Massacre again. I'll back up. So are the initial 2 Valkyrs random or set each time? The 2 you fight, it's the same every time, yeah. Think of the 9 like this. There's 3 of them that are bosses and 6 of them just come in and do mechanics. Those people never change. They're always the same. The order you get might be random, but the combinations you get are definitely set. There's only set combinations you ever see. So you guys see Massacre. Here's the other one. It looks like they're immuning it. You can immune these. Also, I would highly suggest, especially in a fight like this that has very little lethal mechanics, if you are doing this on heroic and you get a call of not a call of Valkyrie, this is super easy. There's no reason they should be immuning this. You should be soaking this, right? Because there's nothing else happening. But when you get a word of recall, you're definitely going to want to potentially sack or immune this. Because if you get the wombo combo, you could actually wipe by trying to soak this with too few people. Like if you get the thing that makes you spread out and the one where you have to do the far soaks, it's really hard to actually assign that in a pug or in a lesser experienced guild. Is it magic damage? I believe it is magic damage, yeah. But yeah, I would either if you ever get it in a word of recall, I would potentially sacrifice it, which you're going to see one soon. So I'll kind of give you an example of how that would work. Obviously, they don't have timers. Here it is, word of recall. Keep in mind the boss is movable during word of recall. So if you think there's going to be a puddle on the ground, always take the boss to an edge, right? Or a bubble on the ground. So right now, if you remember, it's going to do the last 3 things, I believe, which should be Massacre, the Frost Circle. It actually might be double Massacre. It might be double Massacre, Frost Circle, or there's one I'm misremembering. It is double Massacre. Yeah, that's it. So literally that combo was just 2 times Massacre and one Mass Circle. Can you close the notepad? No, you'll be okay. Now that's an easy combo. Where you can run into a really hard combo is if the Massacre is weak compared to Sire. Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, obviously, I mean, like, noting that it's weak makes no sense, right? Like, whether you know a Massacre line is going to hit you for half to 75% of your health to one-shotting you, in both scenarios, the play is to clearly not get hit by it, right? So, like, you just, who cares? Just don't get hit by it, right? Okay, so Link Essence. So again, it's going to do a Call of Valkyrie again, so it's going to do multiple different mechanics. You guys get it, right? I just want to see if the wombo combo happens. This is part of the wombo combo. I want to see if they get it so I can show you what I'm talking about. They're getting it. They're getting it. If they get a stack and soak, okay, this is it. This is wombo combo. The next word of recall is going to fucking annihilate them. This is the wombo combo. So if it doesn't cast any other things, no, don't soak with that, few people. That was psycho. No. Okay, yeah, that's rough. Okay, they're gonna be alive to see it though. Check this out. They're going to get at the exact same time 4 small shadow circles that need to be soaked in the far part of the room They're going to get circles on about half their raid, which only 5 people are alive. 5 people are alive. So it's not going to be able to be seen really well. And they're going to have to stack up and soak the like frost circle. And as you can tell, even with a full raid, that's a problem. But look what they get like here. Look at that. All of them can't stack to each other. So you're already eliminating half of the raid that can't stack. You're also adding 4 people to soak. Now, it's possible that the 4 people who are spreading with those circles can also go do the soaks. That could be a weak aura, right? But this combo that you just saw will kill more people on this fight than anything else. The combo, to our knowledge, still exists, and it's by far the hardest one. Every other set of mechanics is a total joke compared to this one, and it does happen consistently when we tested it. So easiest thing to do, if you're a raid leader on this fight, this is just a battle res. It's a battle res or an immunity. There's no reason to risk killing your whole raid, which will probably kill 5 or 6 people trying to do this soak. You immune this or kill them every time if you get this combo. By far, you would easily take the death there. You could try to Onk Totem them. Onk Totem's a little weird with how it works, but yeah, you could certainly Onk Totem it. Yeah. So that's the only thing I want to mention with that. Okay, so you guys have seen the whole fight. So what is there to look out for? Number 1, for sure, Wombo combo. What that means is if you get that combo, kill the Soaker Man. If you get the combo. Or if your raid is ever low, never soak this. Also, for what it's worth, this is the only thing in the fight that makes sense to use your barriers, your spirit links, your darknesses, your rallies, everything. It's the only thing where that is good. So always basically use every one of those you have up for those, because you get them pretty infrequently too. So I would just use like basically all of your stack up live things for that. Set to wrap text. How do I do that? Word wrap. Yo, ay. Okay. One more combo. Kill the Soaker Man, or if your rate is ever low, never soak this. Very true. Okay. That's the number 1 thing to look out for. Number 2. Oh, comp. First of all, bring your best players. Nothing really significant here except maybe immunities, but also nah. Okay. After the Wombo combo, you have, I think it's called Glacial Fragments. Is that what it's called? Fragments of Destiny. Yeah, wow, what an epic name. What an unbelievably epic name. Fragments of fucking Destiny, baby. All right, here we go. There's that. Epic Fragments. Okay, so with Epic Fragments, here's what you do. So let's say you have the boss right here, right? Boss, big old smiley face. Love smiling. You have your whole raid right here. Listen, fuck druids. Fuck boomkins. Am I right, chat? Am I right or am I right? Okay. So if you guys get Glacial Fragments, let's just assume these are the people, okay? So, Jonathan the Warrior, Elliot the Hunter, and Donald the Mage all get fragments. On Heroic, I believe it only goes on 3 people at a time. I can kind of fast forward to check. 3. Okay, so how this works is these dots will stay on you forever. If you die, I believe they bounce. So there's no real way to like sack them or get rid of them, and there's no real reason to. Very simple. Just have a marker down on the ground. Square. Raid leader, you can place down a marker throughout the pool. It doesn't have to, again, there's way more complicated ways to deal with this that are potentially a lot better too, but just as a basic thing that you can apply to your group right away. Glacial Fragments, have young Hunterman go over here, have them all go over here, dispel them one at a time. You do not need to panic dispel them, okay? Because what happens is sometimes what people were doing is if you just spam dispel all 3 of them or like mass or something, it's going to go on, unless you have really good positioning, which is unlikely in the first time you see this boss, it's going to go like 2 on one person and 1 on the next one. The rule of thumb is this. If you are ever dispelled and you don't have a stack anymore, go back to the group. So let's just say this guy right here. Let's do 1, 1, and 1. So right now, low guy has 1 stack, low guy has 1 stack, low guy has 1 stack. Let's say you dispel the mage. Okay, so the mage now has 0 stacks. It's gone. Okay, Mage has 0 stacks. He goes back to the group. Now, either one of these people are going to have 2 stacks. It doesn't matter who it is. It doesn't matter who has it. Let's say it's the Warrior or the Hunter gets 2. Okay? Now, very simple. You can dispel either one of them, and this is over. Okay? You can dispel the Hunter. You can dispel the Warrior. Let's just say, in this case, you dispel the Warrior. Or the Hunter, because he's way more likely of dying. Class sucks, right? So you dispel the Hunter. Hunter no longer has 2 stacks. Warrior has 3. The Hunter doesn't need to leave. The Warrior doesn't need to leave. It'll happen at once. The Warrior will get 3. Okay? And then the debuff goes away. Both of them can leave, and a small puddle will show up on the floor. That is how that's done every time with no variance. That's what you do every time. And then by the end of the fight, you know, there's just going to be some puddles on the side of the room, right? Like, they're just going to be fucking puddles. But as long as they're on the side, that's fine. You always want to dispel it on the edge of the room. And that's it. That's how you do the mechanic. Is there some, like, NASA strats you can come up with where, like, you always put, like, you know, someone on, like, a mark and, like, mass dispel around them? Absolutely. For your average, you know, heroic raid enjoyer, just go over there and single dispel them. It's a joke of a mechanic. It's not hard. Don't overcomplicate it. That's basically that mechanic. So that's how you do epic fragments. Not gonna explain. Literally just did it on video. Cool. And what else? So Call of the Valkyr isn't really that important because everything is very simple. Like with all Call of the Valkyrs, right? If you get Agatha's Eternal Blade, it's Massacre. You don't get hit by it. Whether you get it in combination with things or alone. Very simple. Dashla's Mighty Anvil. I think that's the giant purple circle, right? So just to go by them one by one. I think they get one pretty early on this fight. I want to say it's like right now. Please. Okay, no, that's the baby. There it is. Dashla's Mighty Anvil. That's these. These are the giant spread out circles. Like these people have to get away. So first one you see right here. These are the, you can see it. It is Brinja's Mournful. No. This. Aradne's Falling Strike. That's this one. That's the Aradne one. The Falling Anvil is the big purple circle. And let's see what else they get. Oh, this is the big barrier, right? They're about to get screwed. Yeah. Dude, this Hunter... Dude, look at this Hunter drop Wild Spirits, dude. Wait. Here it comes. No, it's not the first. The first Hunter's Wild Spirits is fine. Look at the second one. I think another Hunter Wild Spirits. Wait. Come on. Throw it down, Hunter man. Look! The Wild Spirits... He Wild Spirits the millisecond the boss gets a 90% damage reduction, has to move. Oh, fuck Hunters, dude. Look at him. Wait, here it goes. Oh, I'm about to own. See ya. Yeah. Okay, so don't do that at all. You'll have timers for it. Obviously, that guy didn't have timers, but that feels really bad. Remember to provoke out of this circle. Just have your tank taunt off you. If you don't have a Brewmaster Monk, definitely provoke it. I promise you, you'll gain so much boss damage. Actually, is that a bad thing to advise people to do? I think it is. That's really fucking stupid, right? That's going to kill the shit out of Windwalkers and Mistweavers. Yeah, don't do that. Just accept you're not going to have high damage, and, you know, it'll be all right. Okay. So, yeah, tanks aren't going to taunt back off you. So this one's like a super easy combo. You just spread the big circles out. You do the smaller circles. That's an easy combo. The next one that gets the Wombo, the one you guys haven't seen. Oh, no, you've seen them all. I believe they actually get it soon. I'm actually going to fast forward. The one I haven't actually gone through in detail, I'll just do it right now. This is Massacre. This is that. Oh, no, this is the double Massacre set. Easy. It's the next one. 100 energy. Do it again. Oh, no, this is Wombo combo. They learn nothing here. This right here. There you go. Do you guys see the Mournful Dirge? These are just like the small spreads. So you just get away from people with these as they expire. It's just like the big spreads, except there's more of them and they're smaller. Basically, every 6 mechanics they did here are just like the greatest hits of WoW mechanics over the past 10 years. You know how to deal with all of them, even though you probably haven't seen them before, right? Dodge lines on the ground, soak things as a raid, spread out big circle, spread out small circle, damaged thing on the ground, your tank will move out of really slowly and you'll hate him for it. And you get the point, right? Like, you guys have all done this shit, so. Lit. Very good. I don't think there's anything else on this fight other than best lust timing might be... So first of all, it's not going to be on the pull. Lusting on the pull for progression is bad on this fight. It's certainly fine for farm. Just it's not going to be the best thing to kill the fight. I would lust when your 2 minutes come back up on Skyja after you get a shield. So you know one of the first combos on Heroic, unless they change the timing, is going to be... Like right here's 3 minutes, right? So look at their timer. So at the 2 minute mark, you could lust right here. And if they didn't lust on pull, their 2 minutes probably would have been like right here, right? Like probably like right now after the other ads die. So yeah, you either want to lust right away because you're not going to get a full 40 seconds because she's going to cast the damage reduction shield right now. You do not want your lust rolling when this comes out. And you know that she's going to call she's going to remembrance or call word of recall or whatever right after it happens immediately. So you don't want lust. Look at the boss room right now. Look at 2:30 to 3 minutes. 2:30 to 3 minutes. This fight is a fucking disaster, right? You get any damage cooldowns happening at this time, total, do not do that, right? Even right after it, 240, 245, another bubble. It's not until 3 minutes flat till the boss is going to not have a damage reduction for multiple minutes because it cycles through them, right? So you want to lust and hold 2 minutes for the 3 minute marker and get a big boss lust right here, or you're going to want to do it really early before the thing happens. Again, or you can lust on pull. Like I said, lusting on pull is the move for boss speed, but it's not going to actually help you kill the fight at all because the first part's very easy. All right, very cool. Unless there's one thing, unless this is true, watch the boss's energy. I'm not sure if this will be true on live. You'd have to watch us do it or wait until we do it. But do you see how the boss is about to be 100? In the first phase, I don't know if she does Call of the Valkyrie in the first phase or if they just beat it. In our testing, I don't really remember. But she's about to hit 100, but then we push. So she goes to 0. So if lusting on the pull beats a Call of the Valkyrie, that could be a good or bad thing. It could be really good, meaning you get better timings later, or it could be bad that you push everything up and you get a wombo combo that you wouldn't have gotten otherwise. So I don't really know. It's the second boss, right? But yeah, so just be aware of that. Lusting on the pull might be better for that reason, but unlikely. Okay. That is this boss. Now we're going to get into some of the better fights. And again, just a quick disclaimer for tanks, in case you guys are just getting to the stream. I have genuinely no clue what your role does in the entire raid besides mechanics that do damage to the raid because tanks are doing something. So there's probably like a tank guide for this raid, but I'm not going to talk about tank shit even a little bit. It just doesn't matter to me. Just like taunt when your friend gets a debuff or something like that, basically is what you want to do. And do big damn and don't die. All right, on to the next one.